A whole 18 inches of Optimus Prime. From watching various animated series of Transformers as a kid to collecting various action figures over the years, that has made my bank account suffer. Optimus Prime has always held a special place in my heart. I have a lot of Optimus Prime figures. And I really like large figures, and unfortunately Transformer figures have gotten smaller over the years, with the upside being better engineering and posability. Now I wanted an Optimus Prime figure that was big. The largest transformable Optimus Prime figure I could find are the Lewin Resources, which stand at about 28 inches, but they are really expensive. But maybe one day. This Captain America one looks sick. What I did manage to find though was the 17.71 inch Optimus Prime by Pangu Toys, which I got from the generous people over at TF Safari. Make sure to use my affiliate code. This is the PT-01 Commander, and it's actually a knockoff. A knockoff of which figure exactly? Well, it's obviously not the MP10 or the MP44, but actually a knockoff of the Magic Square Light of Peace, and around a cheaper price range. The box it comes in has some really nice artwork on it, and it has a weird factory smell to it. And this kaiju-sized Optimus towers over everything that I own. I have no idea where I'm going to put this thing. Now, while this figure looks impressive, let's start off by talking some of the downsides. The biggest one being the figure's a little bit loose. This body area doesn't seem to connect to anything, so it just kind of flops, which is really annoying. So when I'm holding him like this, I'm trying to like cradle him. His legs and feet are pretty loose, causing him to fall over. Nice. This is a bit worrying because he could just randomly fall over while on display, which can happen. Now this Optimus Prime is supposed to be an accurate representation of him from the G1 show. The head sculpt on this figure is really impressive. Since his eyes aren't colored, he looks dead, but that is because he has some LEDs, which I don't have batteries for. And if you were to open up the head, you probably could mod it to where he has blue eyes. But the rest of the head sculpt looks pretty good. Very simple, basic G1 blocky design, and it looks very impressive. I do like the little bit of paintwork over here. His little bunny ear things can also move. His chest piece looks absolutely amazing and iconic to Optimus Prime. This chest piece also always loosens up. This can open up and we do get a matrix chamber, and if we open this up, it's empty because I forgot to put the matrix in. We'll take a look at that later. I do like how this is designed, and there's some nice little detail going on. We do get the windows over here for the vehicle mode, which flip over when we transform the figure. What's really cool about this figure is that all the vehicle mode bits kind of get hidden away in the robot mode with the impressive engineering. However, that's props to Magic Square because this is a knockoff of their figure. One thing I really do like about this version of Optimus Prime is that this front grille piece isn't a faux grille piece. It actually comes out in forms of grille piece for the actual truck mode. The rest of it looks pretty iconic and accurate to the show. We get the nice blocky arms over here with those ships at the bottom, the classic silver smokestacks over here. The fingers are all individually articulated and they're nice and blue. Cross feet with the classic yellow colors. Coming down to the rest of the legs, the design is very accurate to the show. And I do like the color of blue they use for the legs. It does seem, once again, accurate. We have the nice silver fuel tank at the side, and just a few basic designs throughout the legs. Since this is a G1 figure, the designs are going to be basic. Luckily from the backside, he doesn't really have that much of a backpack, which is really nice. This back piece though is pretty loose. He has skirt pieces on the back and side to help with articulation. The front pieces aren't skirt pieces, they are connected to the legs. He really is a very large and classic looking Optimus Prime. It's just unfortunate that he's so loose, because with something this big, you don't want him to be this loose. Now for some size comparisons, let's compare him to Legacy Armada Optimus Prime, Studio Series 102 Optimus Prime, a knockoff masterpiece Hot Rod and the Rose Toys RC, and Robots in Disguise Optimus in his super mode. As you can see, this is a massive figure. Now I want to talk about his accessories because some of them are really interesting. I'll go ahead and grab the first one. Seems like I may have lost it. I'm looking around for it. There we go. We get a massive ion cannon. This is huge and it looks absolutely fantastic. Loving the sculpt work on here. It does feel a little flimsy, as you can hear, like this part seems to be a little bit loose, but overall the rest of it seems to be pretty good. The plaster quality also seems to be pretty good. This next one is pretty cool. Let me grab it in a sec. I seem to keep misplacing things. I don't know where this one is. Found it. It also comes with a G1 Megatron gun. This obviously, it doesn't transform into an actual Megatron, but this is really cool to see. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit on him because of the way this is designed. But this does look very nice. I like the silver paint on here, and the sculpt is just really good. Time to grab the next one. Next, we have his orange Energon axe. If you remove this, you can put it on his hand. Be careful of this popping out when you open... No, don't do that. Be careful of this popping out when you open this up. I do really like the translucent orange they've chosen for this. And no G1 Optimus Prime figure is complete without a matrix of leadership. As you can see, we have ours over here. This is where the battery goes, and we should be able to put it in here like that and put that in there. Now, we don't have a battery for this, unfortunately, and this is also seems to be just a little bit too loose. Hopefully it will stay in place. We have this purple thing, which I presume is supposed to be like an Energon cube, and I think this is meant to activate some of the light up features in the figure. Once again, I don't have any battery, so I can't show it off. We get a dead Optimus Prime head, which is really funny. I don't really feel like this is necessary to come with the figure. Some of the extra damage detail is really nice on this. And lastly, we get a Starscream head. This is really funny to have because it references like this one particular moment from the G1 show. It is a very nice head sculpt. I do genuinely like this a lot. I love the red eyes he has. I'm not gonna go through the effort of removing the head and placing these heads on there because it's too much effort and I don't want to do that. The articulation for this figure is pretty good, but the joints are too loose. It's kind of easy to lean him forward a little bit and then he falls over. So in terms of articulation, we get some head rotation that goes all the way around. Head can look up and down. Arms can move out to the side. They can rotate as well. They're on a ratchet joint. We get bicep rotation, rotation there, hand rotation, individual finger movement. We get an elbow bend. The waist can rotate. Oh, yep, that's gonna happen. Legs can move out to the side, all the way forward. His entire body will fall apart. Get back together. The legs can move all the way back there. Leg rotation and a pretty good knee bend. Feet can move back and forth. Tilt. Now, I'm not going to show the transformation for this figure on camera because he is absolutely huge and it's going to be a pain to show on camera. Remember that I am lazy. So we're going to skip straight into the vehicle mode.
I'm going to be a truck.
That is, that's too big to fit in here. Here is the vehicle mode, and this thing is big. Sorry once again for not showing off the transformation. It would just be too much of a hassle with how big and loose this thing is, which makes it really hard to handle. However, the transformation process wasn't too complicated, just a little bit tedious. The vehicle mode comes out great, and props to Magic Square for their engineering, because once again, this is a knockoff of that figure. There are no vehicle mode kibble bits in the robot mode, and yet they magically appear in the transformation on this square truck. See what I did there? Now, I don't know if I messed up the transformation somewhere, but the wheels for me don't seem to touch the ground, and his crotch piece does touch the ground, which could cause some scratches. Once again, not sure what I did wrong. I do many things wrong in my life. The front side bumper pieces also keep popping out while transforming, which is super annoying. Seriously, the looseness on this figure is a major downside. Now, the truck mode looks fantastic and very accurate to the original G1 show, with the classic silver smokestacks, to the windshield wipers, to the anime girl feet, classic silver grille, all the way down to the rivets on the sky. This vehicle mode has little to no detail, which is a good thing because it stays true to the original G1 Optimus design, which for an animated show isn't going to have a whole lot of detail on it. This vehicle mode is so good, it almost looks like it's just a model truck. The top front lights are actually not the same as the ones that appear on the bot mode. Those disappear during the transformation and these new ones appear. Now, you might have just noticed something about the truck mode. He has the gray line in the vehicle mode. The original Magic Square version doesn't have this. I do like some of that suspension detail near the wheels. I also like how the wheels are hidden away in the robot mode and appear in the vehicle mode. They're actually hidden inside his legs and the chest. The fuel tank from the robot mode also becomes larger in the vehicle mode because that is also hidden inside the legs. This figure does look a bit weird on the backside. The taillights are also not the best. The truck bed itself looks pretty alright. Now, do I recommend this figure? I don't know. The size is great, but the looseness on something this big is pretty bad, and you don't want something this large falling over. TF Safari does have the new Magic Square version of this, which is a bit more expensive, and I'll link both of these in the description below, and make sure to use that code. Now, if you enjoyed this video over here, make sure to check out this other video, which I think you might enjoy.
Be strong enough to be gentle.